everyone, and welcome to the 2949 Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. This year the event's being sponsored by ANVIL Aerospace, who also happens to be the first manufacturer this week who's going to be showing off their current lineup of flyable ships. Since this is the first day of the Expo, I thought I'd show you how to get there, starting from your bed and going all the way to the shuttle that takes you to the Bevic Convention Center. Some people were having issues finding the right path to take, so I thought I'd help guide anyone who may be having any problems finding where the event's being held. And nothing helps like a step-by-step guide to go by. Most people should already have their spawn point redirected to ArcCorp. And to anybody who has to travel to get there, just land your ship, log off and back in, and you'll start out right in the same spot that I started out from. The path to get there is fairly straightforward. From your hab, just head over to the Central Plaza, and then go over to the terminal that leads to the Central Starport. I think right here is the part that was throwing a few people off. Now if you look down here, the path to the right, that goes to the Starport. And the path to the left, that goes to the convention. Oh man, and look at this. Sometimes you just luck out. I wanted to head the rest of the way over at night, mainly because it's so much more pretty of a view to look at. They really went all out with the lobby of the Bevic Expo Center. And so much work was put into it in terms of details and the little extras that they used to decorate it. In the end, all that hard work really paid off. And they honestly did an incredible job dressing the area up, making it feel like you're really going into a convention center. Littered throughout it are models and displays of all kinds. There's stations where you can buy swag, shirts, and hats that all have the manufacturer's logos on them. And there's even welcoming stations that have complimentary water and brochures for you to look over. But mainly there's models. And more models. And even more models almost everywhere you look. This is like a collector's paradise right here. So I'm just going to take a second and walk around the lobby and just show every nook and cranny off for you before heading down to the expo floor. And here it is, the Expo in all of its glory. So let's head down and check everything out. I think the Ballista is as good a place to start as any. This was the first ground vehicle to be released by ANVIL, and its announcement ended up being kind of a shock. Mainly because it's being manufactured by ANVIL and not something else like Tumbrel. And it's also the first real step towards evening off the gap that exists between ships and vehicles. And all you really have to do is take a look at that complement of missiles that it's carrying to understand why. I have a video that goes over the Ballista in full detail in case you're interested in knowing more about it, and I'll provide a link to it in the description of this video. The Arrow was last year's centerpiece, and it was my go-to ship for quite a while. Even though recently they nerfed its shields, it's still incredibly fast and nimble, and quite frankly, it's just fun to fly. It was inexpensive, especially when compared to the other light fighters. It has a comparable weapons loadout, and it's small and its wings fold up to make it even more compact. It was referred to as a mini Saber when it first came out, and I rather like that description. It's still a great ship, and I never regretted getting it. The Hawk is ANVIL's answer to bounty hunting, just like Aegis has the Avenger Stalker, and Drake has the Cutlass Blue. But unlike with the Avenger, the Hawk was built for bounty hunting, while the Avenger was retrofitted for it after the fact. The main attraction from ANVIL this year is the straight-to-flyable Pisces. It comes in two varieties. The first is the C8, which is the model that the Carrot comes stock with, which is a slightly stripped-down version for the civilian market. And the other is a C8X Expedition model, which is basically the same thing but with 2 extra guns, and it has a different paint job. And they actually went in a completely different direction with the Pisces than I thought they were going to go in. And I'm happy to see that it comes with the ability to quantum travel, which I also see as an absolute necessity for a ship like this to be effective. But I thought it was going to be a lot skinnier. I didn't expect it to be able to hold 3 people as well as be able to carry 4 SUs worth of cargo. Which I'm pretty sure is going to make a lot of people happy. Because among the list of desired traits that people wanted to see for this vessel, being able to carry more than one person was pretty high up on the list. I was able to take it out for a brief test spin, and it's very responsive in its handling. And its afterburner speed is so fast I think it may actually be a bug. And I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up tuning it back a little bit. The components loadout for it's a little non-conventional, having a size 1 civilian class quantum drive, a military class power plant and coolers, and a stealth shield. All in all, I'm actually pretty happy how it turned out. Here we got the Terrapin, which is a heavily armored pathfinder that can double as a deep space scanner, a scout, or as a recon ship. And in case you're interested in knowing more about it, I have a Versus video where I pit the Terrapin up against the 315P, and I end up going into a lot more detail about both of these ships in it. This is the Hurricane. It's got a massive turret for a ship of its size that holds as much firepower as a Saber. And it also has 2 size 4 gun mounts that are controlled by the pilot. Unfortunately, the ship handles rather slowly, and it takes the description glass cannon to a whole new level. The next group of ships are all from the Hornet series. The best thing about these ships is that most of their parts are interchangeable. For instance, you can take the scanner from the tracker and put it on the Ghost, the F-7C, or the Super Hornet. And consequently, you can take the ball and the chin turret from the Super Hornet and put on any of the others. This way you can buy the chassis that you want and then outfit it any way that you want. For instance, the tracker is the fastest and the most nimble out of the Hornets. So if that's what you're really looking for, you could start with the tracker's frame and then further outfit it with any of the other Hornet parts that you like. Or you could go with the Super Hornet, which is the most heavily armored out of them, and then swap out the turret for a scanner or a big box. The last ship on the Expo 4 that we haven't looked at yet is the Valkyrie, which is a heavy-duty dropship that has seating for 20 additional soldiers on top of the crew, and has a series of guns that can provide cover from nearly any direction. Well, that's going to be it for ANVIL's contribution to this year's Intergalactic Expo. I'm just going to make my way over to the exit and leave you with some parting visuals from the showroom floor. Thanks for tuning in, and take care.